Hi guys, it's me, Deminator What If, back with another What If video. Coming with part 8 to What If Ichigo Kurosaki was sent back in time. Now, last time we left off with Aizen basically getting looked at by Ichigo after he had been accused of killing Rukia, with Ichigo saying that it was, basically saying, yeah, he did it. Anyway, I'm going to get right into it. Ichigo had now been sitting in the White Tower, Shishinro, made of seki for weeks. No, for a few days. Seki is a material, a white stone, which is used to drain Ryatsu. The goal of which is to, when a criminal is placed within the confines of a a prison made of seki, basically makes so the prisoner has no more Ryatsu and can be easily killed by high Ryatsu attacks. Anyway, over the days, he has sat there with his usual frown until he heard explosions. We switch to the point of view of Captain Shinsui Kyoraku, from the 8th Division. Now, I cannot be bothered for the life of me to do a chant for a Shikai, because it's very long and I can't be bothered. So I'll literally just be saying Shikai for him. Same as if I was doing Bankai for someone, I just say Bankai. In this case, Shikai, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna just continue. Ara. He thinks these intruders are quite interesting. Currently, he is watching as Orihime, one of the two gingerhead intruders and visitors from a previous time, is fighting a bunch of his squad with strange orange beam-like flat surfaces. Orihime herself, of course, using her hairpin techniques to reject people and defeat them that way. After all her training, she can do this quite surprisingly easy, since a lot of Shinigami stop their training once they become a Shinigami, or as high they need. After defeating the last enemy, she comes to a similar stare down as Chad and Shinsui had done in the original, with sakura petals falling thanks to his lieutenant. I believe it says lieutenant. And yeah. They greet each other with him saying, "Ara ara, young lady. I tell you to turn back now, but I'm assuming there's no stopping you." She replies with, "Get out of my way. I need to go get Ichigo. Chad, Uryu and the others are waiting for me to get past you." They begin with him tilting his hat down and says, "All right then, little lady. I've seen what you have to offer, so I'll go straight into Shikai." Shikai. His blade becomes 2. I don't know if he has 2 sound factor at the start, but yeah, his blade becomes 2. 2 large, jagged, smooth curved blades with a slight hole in them. He then uses his technique called crazy airpin, something along those lines. I'll probably crazy air top. I'm not going to bother trying to remember the Japanese translation. So if you want to know what that is, I'll just continue with the story. You can search it up later on. Wind begins to come out of his blades, twisting around, attempting to hit Orihime and disorientate her while heavily damaging her. In response, she merely has the 2-person combination, 2 hairpin combination, and or the fairy-like creatures that are her hairpins, and says, "I reject!" dispelling it entirely. He grins and says, "Little lady, you're making my job far more difficult than it has to be." Oh. He then uses his technique that initiates the color game. I'm pretty sure it's actually just called a color game, like Itori or something like that. He then proceeds to say, "Orange." I don't fucking know how to say orange in Japanese. What are you on? With that, her head begins to pain with a striking sensation over it, and like accumulating quite a bit of damage to her, basically to her head, with a cut forming along her forehead. But yeah, he himself doesn't even take any damage. He doesn't have any orange on his body. But then he starts saying, "If you don't know, what I just used was my Shikai technique. It allows me to place me and my opponent in a game of colours. Any colour we say, all we have to say is different colours." Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all he say. In response to that, she basically realizes what is going on. After he said orange, she got damage to the area of her body, and heavy damage to the area of her body that had the most orange on it. No, I know, forehead isn't... the head is what I'm referring to, not her forehead, you know? You know what I mean. Also, technically, does she have her? But yeah, anyway, I'm going to continue. In response, she simply says, "Pink." With that, he gets heavy scratches all over his body. She gets a slight cut along the back of her wrist, like on the back of her fist. But other than that, nothing much happens to her. But he is covered in cuts now. He says to himself, "Oh, seems like she already understands the game quite a bit." With them proceeding to continue. However, as he attempts to say white, as she is currently wearing white clothing, she suddenly says, "I reject," proceeding to reject the reaction of Ryatsu around her that is causing the strikes to occur, knowing that she will be heavily damaged by this. His eyes widen and says, Now, that's not very kind, little lady." He then uses his Shikai... he removes this Shikai technique and then jumps up onto the tower, and her already realizing that all of his techniques are based on games, with the first one being the crazy air top, and the previous one having been a color game. She immediately realizes what's going on. This is a game of basically of the floor is lava. This is a game where you have to get as high as possible. With him proceeding to say, I think it's called the mountain climbing game, the mountain point game. And she immediately starts to feel pressure all over her body, and cuts appearing. She quickly starts jumping up, and now it's merely a challenge to see who can stay up for the longest. With him falling with her eventually just rejecting whatever hits her, again causing him to slightly pout before he is cut again and proceeds to faint. His lieutenant is utterly shocked by this fact, but honestly she's kind of pissed with her anyway, so she kind of just lets it slide. But yeah, Orihime just continues walking forwards. Changing point of view to Captain Kenpachi of the 11th Division. He is excited. Finally a good fight! He is looking towards Chad, seeing his devil arm, and Chad just says, let's get this over with. Kenpachi just starts laughing maniacally, saying, just saying, then come at me with all you've got! I feel like I've got a kind of Vegeta voice going on there, but whatever. They start clashing blows, Kenpachi's blade going towards him whilst his hair jingles and his reactor is continuously drained by his eye patch. Chad, in response, just punches with full force, actually knocking Kenpachi back. Again, although Kenpachi is unaffected, because Chad may be a Chad, but he's still slightly affected by the danger sensed from Kenpachi, but also due to the fact that while he has a great technique, he still isn't that far with using Ryatsu. After all, you do need some level of control to actually cut, or in this case, hit someone with it. They continue exchanging blows, with Chad having having heavy breathing, going up and down. His devil's arm slightly dissipating, and just generally massive cuts going across his chest, on his arms, etc., etc. With Kenpachi barely being phased. He's slightly out of breath, with a slightly higher breathing rate, but yeah. He says, "Is that all you've got? I expected more from a human of your power." Chad is starting to get pissed, but he's still focused, with Kenpachi in and saying, "Don't you want to get your friend back?" Chad then proceeds to just take away any reservations he has, just in a blank state. It's all or nothing sort of mindset, and just starts hammering down on Kenpachi, leading to a scene that is quite reminiscent of canon, with Kenpachi and Ichigo both being on the floor. I mean, in this case, Kenpachi and Chad both being on the floor, knocked out. Kenpachi's lieutenant, apparently she's a Zanpakuto. I'm almost entirely sure that's incorrect. Zanpakuto Spirit. I'm almost entirely sure that's incorrect. She's probably just a little girl he found in the forest. Whatever. But yeah. Outside of this, in another location, as Orihime had continued on walking, she'd eventually met up with Uryu, who had simply been just running away from people and knocking them down. They come face to face with Byakuya and Renji. Now, if you don't know, stupid, but if you don't know, Renji is basically someone who's in love with Rukia, which is why it's reasonable for him to be fighting against these people. Personally, I found. But yeah. Again, Orihime tries to go the same route as she had attempted with the previous captain, saying, "Move out of our way. I've already taken down one of the captains, and Uri over here has been fighting as well. Just let us pass through to Ichigo. We need to see him." Renji starts getting angry, yelling towards them. "Huh? What do you people want? That bastard Ichigo killed Rukia. I'll fucking kill him, as well as all you bastards." Byakuya says, be quiet, Renji. Let's just finish off these humans." Uryu pushes his glasses up, telling Orihime that she shouldn't have expected anything else from these disgusting Shinigami. And Orihime herself is still confused ever since hearing that Ichigo had killed Rukia, because it just doesn't make sense to her. Neither did it to Chad or Uryu, but Uryu doesn't care. He gets to kill Shinigami. They proceed to fight with Uryu being kind of like a backup, shooting towards them and deflecting Renji's movements, as well as protecting Orihime against some of Byakuya's attacks. On the other hand, Orihime is using her shields and her like kind of sword-like fairy hairpin to both block and attack Byakuya's Shinkai. Shinkai? What am I on? Shikai. His Senbon Zakura. So yeah. However, due to the nature of these two being very powerful people, and well, these two are much stronger, Orihime just got out of a fight with a quite overpowered captain, and Uryu has been fighting for quite a while as well, so they are both sore and tired. So eventually, it leads to them being basically just getting dropped, basically attempting to escape after having knocked out Renji, with it merely being Byakuya left. They find a small hole in the ground, which hadn't been there before, but throughout the fighting had been there. As they try to escape, they drop down said hole and they find the sewers. Byakuya happens to not see this and is looking, sends out parts of his squad to look for them. But yeah, during this time, Orihime is healing herself and Uryu while they plan out their next moves, attempting to just go head straight to the Shishinro. So the White Tower that is at the center of, or near the center of it, of the entire place. But yeah, this leads to the two of them continuing, ending up at the Shishin. Basically, after spending hours and hours going over and over again through the tunnels and trying to find the right place, leading to some very strange situations, like ending up in someone's bathroom one time. They eventually do get, after quite a few hours of aimlessly going, they eventually find a location that is extremely close to the Shishinro. They exit the sewers, no Shinigami in sight, and, you know, they're confused, but they continue heading towards the Shishinro, where they in fact they see ginger hair. They see basically just some long hair, long orange hair from quite a far away, and Orihime yells out, "Ichigo!" Running towards him. Uryu sighs and just runs after her as well, kind of grinning at seeing Ichigo again. And they basically just see him in white garbs, and being chained and walking off with, basically being walked off with a group of people. However, as they attempted to cross that one bridge, they end up finding that Byakuya appears, and he is pissed. Not only has he spent so much time looking for these humans, but on top of that, he has to see his sister slash wife, his sister slash wife's daughter or sister? Probably sister, to be honest. His step and half sister, which is just step you, huh? What would that be? Step sister and sister-in-law. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. My brain's not comprehending it for some reason. But yeah, he's incredibly irritated just being in the circumstances, and doesn't even give them time to talk, and blows them away with his Shikai, saying "Simple Zakura," and using it to blow them away, giving them severe cuts and flinging them off of the bridge. Just in time, however, due to the time difference and her already understanding where they were attempting to go. Oh. Have I seriously forgotten her? Wow. I'm disappointed in myself. I forgot such an important character's name. Oh, God. Oh, my lord. I'm so disappointed in myself. Okay, you know what? I'm going to check. Oh, God. What is her name? Oh, shit. Okay, Yoruichi. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, Yoruichi. She comes in flying and saving them similarly to how she had saved Ichigo in canon, and takes them away to an underground training facility. Here, she shows them that she also has Chad here, and he had been here for the past few hours, training, and she says that she's going to train them, and she is not going to be easy on them. But yeah. A day passes, and today's the day of Ichigo's execution. What? And yeah. So, he is now in front of the Sokyoku, hanging up, about to get hit by it. Basically, it's about to fly to him. Little does he know, yet he kind of knows at the same time, is that Chad is already prepared to jump up there and save him. Is getting prepared to get there and save him. And Orihime Uryu already prepared to start attacking the captains to get him away. On top of that, actually no, there's nothing else. Yeah, that's it. And Aizen is already seeing how, trying to see how this will play out. With Rukia, in fact, actually being part of the crowd. However, she cannot move. And no one can see her due to Aizen's Shikai. Ichigo not only notices that Rukia is there, but he also specifically notices Aizen. And as they say, Ichigo Kurosaki, due to violation of the laws of this of the Serite, and in the murder of Rukia, you will now be killed by the Sokyoku. And then they hear laughing. Coming from Ichigo, and then they hear him say, "Aizen, come here!" Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this part. I'm sorry for being a day late, but yeah, I will send another one tomorrow. I hope you have a lovely night. I hope you have a lovely tomorrow, whatever. But yeah. Yeah. If you have any comments and, again, suggestions or anything, do know that. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.